Hello, people. It's a lovely Saturday afternoon, and thankfully, there's no rain. So, I am live at Iwalewa Art Gallery for the My Lecturer Art Show. It promises to be a lovely event, so I'm going to be keeping you up to date on the happenings. This is a beautiful place, by the way. It's a beautiful gallery. You should visit. See you soon. Hi, guys. So I'm back here and I'm here with the host of today's show, the owner of Iwalewa Art Gallery. And he's going to be telling us all about today's show. So let's hear him.
My name is Femi Williams. I'm the founder of Iwalewa Gallery of Art and co-founder of My Lecturer Art Shows. My Lecturer Art Shows is a concept bettered by Ogirikon Gallery of Art and myself, Iwalewa Gallery of Art. And the concept of it is to show the Nigerian art educators, to show the best of them that have had an experience for over 10 years. And this is because in the art space, we're in the art space, we're in the forefront of the art space. In the art space, you find out that you see a lot of works that are very good, but there's a root from where they come from. There's a source from where that inspirations come from. So that would say it's for the general public to see some of those people that have impacted so much into this art in Nigeria. So we decided to show the art educators of Nigerian art. But it's a premiere edition, so we couldn't show so much of them. We are showing about 12 of them for this exhibition. So we intend that the next one is bigger. I will encourage all lecturers in Nigerian institutions to support us when that time is right. But we want the experience. So we tens and above experience, and we'll take it from there. So that's
So,
yeah.
so where do you see the show going forward? Where do you see this initiative going forward?
Nigeria, beyond Africa, to the world. So it's something I want to show it in Nigeria, show it everywhere else. Involve lecturers from all over Africa and Europe eventually. It's just to show educators around the world, basically. So that's more of like what we say. So we see it going beyond just here, just the shores of Nigeria. Because art is a global language, it's really big. So for it, because we know it's big, it has to be big like that.
So can you tell us your art story? How did you get into art and when did you start this gallery?
I was born into art. My dad lectured art, University of Benin, because at Mona Williams. So over time, I have always been in the art space. I studied art myself, majored in painting. So that has inspired me over time. I started my gallery precisely in 2017 in Benin. And from Benin, we had to come to Lagos. And from Lagos, who knows, maybe Ghana, maybe New York. We don't know where to take us to, but beyond here.
So do you think art is appreciated in Nigeria, or how would you rate art in Nigeria? Is it evolving? Is it
Appreciation over the time because I've been in the business from quite a young age because my dad has always been in the art space. He had a young gallery while he was growing up in Benin. So going from that, you've seen it that it's moved from point A to point B to point C. It's growing. So it's not stop growing. It's never depreciated. So I see it growing beyond now. And with the advent of a lot of social media shows and views, it has gone beyond the shores of just Nigeria. If you can be here and people are seeing your work all over, so it's grown well and it's going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So I advise people to even keen on time, keen to the art. Any practicing artist you should collect. If you can connect with the work, you should buy. So that's it for me. That's the advice for me to connect as well.
okay? So can you tell us about some of the exhibitors of today, some of the lecturers that is exhibiting their works today, and some of the works as well?
Okay, we have masters from different institutions in different forms, and we can see if you must have interviewed Ekwasamodame, which is a sculptor, a great sculptor. He was born into art as well. His grandparents did art, so you can see that for his work, you see the traditional influence, you see the school influence, a touch of the two. Ikore Emmanuel, fantastic artist. He actually taught me in school, and it's been inspiring for me, and it's inspired a lot of younger artists, and so much more other ones. Viaje, he's quite young, but his works are very fantastic, and he's doing very well. He's doing a whole lot of other ones from the show. But if you look around and document very well, you see that there's something distinctly different on all the artists, and that has influenced their students as well, and that's what you now see in the art space generally.
So what would you say it takes to be a good artist? Is it passion or is it
Because if you're passionate about something, you constantly will do it. And if you constantly do something, you'll be good at it. So if you start to do something and you do it 1,000 times or 100 times, you only get better at it. If you have the love for it, you do better in it. Yes, because you constantly anything you constantly do becomes very successful.
Good to know. Maybe I should start. I hope it's not too late.
My own advice is whatever you're doing that's positive, put in more energy to it to only get better. I can remember when Davido started singing. It's not too good, but it's getting better by the day. His voice is not the best voice. You know, he's not the best writer, but he's not where he was when he started. People didn't know in the shade that be where it is today. But he's going beyond and he's going better. You know, the gallery business I'm doing, starting from Benin, we're not where we were yesterday, and tomorrow we're not going to be here. Like I said, we're looking at opportunities outside the shores of Africa already. So once you love something, it's going to get better. You find your path. It's like a water. It flows. You know, it flows into the places that you don't even can enter. But it's just water because it must find its way. So I think that's what passion and talent is about. You know, be constant, be intentional. You know, so that's it.
Okay, so how would you rate today's show? Are you impressed with the turnout? What do you think? Because
More than 70% of the lecturers are here present. That's a lot because most of them are not from Lagos. So they must have traveled from everywhere else. Um, we have Kunle Adeyemi. Dr. Kunle Adeyemi is present. He was in Sweden on a workshop. He had to move his flights backward to attend to this show. He was supposed to come next week. You know, so that's quite impressive. And he's here right now. So I don't know if you've interviewed him. If you happen to be nice to interview him.
thank you so much for your time. We hope to stay and enjoy the rest of the show. Hello, people. So, like I told you, we are here live at the Iwalewa Art Gallery, and for the my lecturer art show, for my lecturer art show, and I have one of the exhibitors here today, and he's going to be talking to us about his piece and about his journey as a sculptor. So, can we meet you, sir?
Yeah, I'm a Gwasa Omodame. I'm a lecturer at Auchi Poly. Though we have stayed for long now, we're about to retire, but we are still strong and we are still working. Work basically on metal, bronze, metal, wood, basically.
Can you tell us about this piece?
This piece reminds me of what I would call, though I was doing something about my mother. Though it's not a very peaceful woman, quiet, a very resourceful person, not loud, but always have presence. So that's why you see this quiet, head bowed down, shows a lot of humility and loyalty. You understand? And then if you look at it, you see simplicity. It's like just from the hairdo down to the body, it's just one piece of cloth wrapping the body. And then you have the subtle face there. And then all these motifs that you are seeing here represent different things. Like all these ones you have around here represent wealth, power, strength. All the motifs here, they all have meanings, and then you can see I try to bring the African nature of it with the hairdo coming down, and then with some coming from the ear side and all that. But it's a fully stylized piece.
So can you tell us what it was made of exactly?
This one is bronze, pure bronze. Yes, purely bronze. You understand? It's bronze.
Okay.
And all that, but it's bronze.
So can you tell us how long you've been a sculptor and what informed this profession?
Actually, I've been in this. My father was a bronze caster, an artist. And then my father entered this business through the mother. His mom was a midwife to the Abbas wives in Benin. Then bronze was being done in the palace. So as the woman is inside taking care of these women, he was always there sitting down with those bronze casters. That was how he learned the job. My father is not from Igun, but Oba Kenzwa II gave the right to my father and his children to continue the bronze. That was how we left We are not in Igun, we are in Oloton in Benin. So we have our own foundry and everything. So the major bronze casters are in Igun, but we are at Oloton. So you understand? So that from there, anytime you come from school, it's not an apprenticeship, something really. As you come from, you drop your bag, you go to the workshop to meet your dad. Give me this, give me that. That's how we entered. And then I was the first person to go into art, art school. I went to University of Benin. So he was not educated, in school, yes, in the normal schooling system. So I read fine arts Unimed 1991. So that's the journey. So far, since then, we'll be working different galleries. We are known generally,
So how has the journey been so far? And what's the name of the gallery?
My Gammons Nigeria Limited, Gammons Gallery, in short.
And you do only
My father's own is there, Omodame and Sons Art Gallery. That one is there too.
sculptures that it's
My brothers, even if they are engineers and all that, they are all into art. Even my younger, even girls, the girls inside, some are art promoters and all that at the moment. But generally, I'm from the arts family.
so would you say it's a lucrative business?
Oh, very well. At least all my children are all graduates. It's from here. I have more than one properties. I have houses. So what else do you want? You understand? I can travel wherever I want to go. I can eat. What do you need as a man? You understand?
Very lucrative indeed. Okay, so you say you want to retire soon.
We are retiring soon. At if it's 60, I'll be retired. But at 60, I'm retiring at 65. So I just have a couple of years to go. Yes.
Okay, so what are your expectations for this show today? This is my lecturer art show.
Great. I'm expecting, greater improvement from what they have been doing. This one will show if you with the likes of the lecturers I will have, and then the works that are on display, you will know that this thing is going to go places. And from what he said, Iwalewa man here, gallery, Baby said it's going to be an annual thing. This is
This is the first of its kind.
the first of its kind, and then we are going to, by next year, we are going to see better jobs and better presentation. You understand? We are just testing, the waters. Really, yes.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking with us. Enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you.
Hello guys, I'm back with one of the Oga, as I hear the Oga pata pata. So let's meet him. Let's meet you, sir.
I am Momo Isin Ibrahim. I read sculpture, majored in sculpture, and I have been practicing as an artist and an art lecturer since 1981.
No wonder they say here the Oga pata pata. Lecturing where, sir?
I retired from the Polytechnic, the School of Art and Industrial Design, Auchi Polytechnic, and I joined the Auchi Polytechnic again in 1993, where I retired from a year ago. That's September last year. Well, I have been in the art business. I've been more of a tire sculptor. I work with tires, and most of the tire works you are seeing in this exhibition, they were inspired by the boys were inspired by me. We talk of people like Ernest Nkwacha, Toyi Bajayi, and the rest of them, and I've really worked elaborately in tires and automobile junks.
Is any of your piece here?
No. I didn't know of this exhibition. I just came in yesterday, and I was invited to come and see what is happening here. I think in subsequent ones, you see some of my I hardly exhibit. I just work in the studio. I keep, but I have works. I have a collection of works, and yes, this is more a kind of eye opener because I just came around for another thing, and when Femi knew that I was around, he said, I should come and grace the show. That's why I'm here. So
So is it that you don't you are not practicing as a profession?
I am practicing full time, but I hardly want to sell my works.
How are you practicing and not selling?
Because I know that I keep my works for posterity. I've not been selling, but I think now that I'm getting older, I will release some. Yeah, I will release some.
Okay, so what can you tell us about this sculpting business as a whole?
Well, the market is still there and the business is there. In fact, I don't know where you separate sculpture from the fine arts generally. They work side by side and they work hand in hand. And a lot of artists who are ready, who have really promised, like we are seeing what is happening here now. I told Femi not a few minutes ago that Femi, this is no more a promise. You have, accomplished the promise you made while you were in school, because he was also one of our students. So what I'm seeing here is an accomplishment of the promise of yesterday. Yeah. And a lot of them are like that. When you talk of people like Ernest Ukwacha, Abinoro Collins, the rest of them, when they were starting, I thought it was a joke, but what I'm seeing them do these days, I think, in fact, each time I see their works, I'm impressed that this one's, it's like seeing your child that you gave birth to, really doing good. Yeah.
So what would you say?
The boys of the Auchi Polytechnic sculptures and paintings, they have worked. They are working.
What would you say about this initiative, this My Lecturer Art Show? Well, and what are your expectations for today?
Yes, I think it's a worthwhile adventure, because like most of the lecturers I'm seeing now, some of them just keep their works too, like mine. I see Ikoro. Yeah, Ikoro is a great artist, a great painter, but he hardly exhibits. So I saw his works here. People like Kukoyi, they've been exhibiting quite a more than me has been exhibiting, but Ikoro hardly comes out. He's a very quiet, very silent artist, but he's a master. So I think this exhibition will also be an eye-opener to them.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Enjoy your day. Hi guys, so we are still here at the Iwalewa Art Gallery at the My Lecturer Art Show. And I'm here with an avid art collector, as I've been told. And I also heard that he wrote the foreword. So let's meet him.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Dapo Otunla. I'm a lawyer by training, but by passion an art collector. So you are right in terms of what you heard.
Okay, so how did you form the passion for art? When did it start?
It actually evolved, so the first two pieces I ever got were in my teen years from my father. I didn't buy them. The very first piece I bought, I remember very clearly, I bought it in 1996 and it cost me 10,000 naira then with my money. And I was very fortunate because I was negotiating the price. And then three people entered the room and one of them stopped and said, "I like this piece very much." So I quickly told the artist, I said, I'll buy it. So that's how I bought my first piece.
How has the journey been so far?
It's been very interesting. Also watching the evolution of the art space in Nigeria has just been extraordinary. You see Nigerian artists being celebrated globally, and I think people have also seen the arts auction houses, the auctioneers coming to Nigeria to look for Nigerian artists, and I think it's something that we should all be really, really proud of in terms of what's going on here.
So would you say art is a lucrative business in Nigeria now?
It is a lucrative business. It's interesting. I've heard in some quarters it said that, people are just throwing money at art now and the price is going up. But artists have to eat and it's their time, So if people think it's worth something, then why shouldn't the artist earn that something? That's my attitude and the way I look at it.
Okay, so how many pieces do you have now?
Can I keep that a secret? I'll tell you off air.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so I heard you wrote this. So Can you tell us about it?
For me, when I was asked to write the foreword, I actually felt very privileged. I've been patronizing Iwalewa, and I also know Ogrion. So for me, it was an honor to have to write this. But I think the bigger inspiration for me is the fact that I'm writing something about professors of art, people who have taught a number of the names that we know today. And I think, as I said, creatives nurturing creatives on creativity. People teaching, and I was telling some of the artists I've met here now, about how the artist's mind works, the way they conceptualize things in their minds, and then their ability to actually put it down on canvas. So it's a thing of beauty, and to be able to still celebrate these people while they're with us, it's always something to appreciate.
Okay, so what's your expectation for today's show? I hear it's the first of its kind. So what's your expectation?
One, it's good to see galleries collaborating or gallery owners collaborating. And I think I've already met somebody here who's was invited first time in a gallery of this nature, and I actually saw him getting an education, because the question he asked was, "How do I get into this?" So the proprietor of Ogrion was able to start him on his journey right in front of my eyes. I think they spent about 30 minutes, just going through how you get into it, what you should be looking out for, how you develop an eye for art. So I think we'll see a lot of people like that coming in today, and then you'll also see seasoned collectors and other artists coming in. So I am looking forward to a really exciting day here.
Well, I must say that I will start with the word "the young shall grow." Femi is come out with very stylized, very neat display of works of art. It's beautiful, and the curatorial aspect of the exhibition is superb. And he has collected some young artists, brought them to the fore. So I'm very much impressed. Well, one of them is just in front of me here, Adeola Balogun's work. Very impressive. I was just telling my friend here about how impressive this work is. There is also the work of an artist there that looks like that of the late Ben Osagai, and many like that. I could see some works here in front of me. Many of them are very interesting and very attractive. They have future. I am somebody that have trained a lot of artists in residence, about 60 artists in residence from different parts of the world. I know how to identify the future artists. People like Olumide Oreshegun, Victor Ekpok, many of them like that have done some residency. In fact, Alatishe, who won the Artex First Prize, also did a residency on that. There is also the one that just came back from Canada, who also won the first prize in an exhibition in a competition in Abuja. His name is David Sumonu. He also did residency with me. Many of them have done residency. They've been picked up unknown, and they've been built to become very, very well-known artists. So I have the eye of identifying artists that will become somebody. And of course, I key into them when they are not known. And by the time they are known, I've got so much of their works. Well, I always advise Nigerian artists not to copy the Western world. As long as Nigerian artists, try to promote our culture, because there is a lot to be yet to be explored in our indigenous culture. The idea of, and of course, the world is looking for something new. They are used to the Renoirs of this world, the Leonardo da Vinci's of this world. They are used to all the great artists over there. They want to see something different. And Nigeria has a lot to offer. So I can tell you that there will be greater and greater interest in our art. And one other beauty of it, which is that when Nigerian artworks are priced in naira, it attracts people out there to buy the works because it will be peanuts for them in terms of their foreign currency. So my advice is not only should artists obey the provisions of the central bank as to not pricing anything in Nigeria in dollars, but also it's of their benefit that they should price in the local currency so that their work will be more purchased by collectors outside Nigeria because of the comparative price advantage of pricing in naira by those who are going to pay with dollars.
Hi guys, so I'm here with another guest at the show, and I also hear that she's an avid art collector. So let's meet her.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ejime Okoje, and I love art. I think I noticed that art makes you think about things that are impossible. You just see creativity in action, and I'm very blessed to have some very interesting people in my life, especially at work, and they're mentors to me. So Dr. Tunla, who's written some very interesting words about art, is one of my art mentors, as well as Kazim Oladeko, my manager. And Femi, who owns Iwalewa, is such a generous spirit, and he's told me his story. And I've been very connected to this gallery, and I'm so happy to be here to show support. And I've seen some very interesting pieces. And I also like to get my friends involved in art. And my family is here as well. My kids are here. And just to let them see what's possible, because they are very, very talented artists, but I think they have not gotten really connected to that fire and passion of of art. And yes, I work in the telco sector, but I love art, really love art. I just wish I could draw. I just love art.
So when did your love for art start? And how?
Um,
How?
so it started when I realized my first son was gifted, but he needed to understand the technique. So I met someone in church whose husband was a fantastic artist. And because I was very determined to at least nurture those skills, I got him to go for art classes, and I started to see his, technique really improve. And he plays music. He can hear music and play, but he's also very talented. And I think I find it just gives me joy, to see simple things, see beautiful things. It gives me a sense of fulfillment that in the craziness of the world that we live in, that, someone can take time to be creative and tell a story, and you can actually see different stories in a piece of art. So I think my first son kind of inspired me to appreciate art. And when there are opportunities for me to go to galleries, I mean, Art X was a very good expose. Over the years, I would go with my friend Tayo, and all of a sudden we were like, "So when is the next art show?" And my last birthday was in April. One of the things we had for my experience weekend was we actually came to this gallery. We had a great time. We did sip and paint. We tried to be artists. Yes. And it was very interesting, and it was a very great experience. So I think it's one of the beauties of life to be able to create something that never existed and to have a technique that's distinctively yours, because that shows that we're all very unique, just like our fingerprints. It's very unique.
Nice. So how many pieces do you have?
I've never really thought to count. So I'm kind of like a beginner. I would say if I look at my living room, there are three very nice pieces. If I go up to the next living room, there are like two really nice pieces. That's five. If I go to the other places in the house, I would say maybe on an average of maybe 10 to 15 pieces. Well, I mean, I don't have a lot of my pictures up, but I have art.
Do you collect sculptures as well?
Yes, yes.
How many do you have?
Oh, I have two actually. I have an anime. It's blue. It's beautiful. He's also an inspiration for me, and the stories he's able to share about his works. I have one of his migration pieces, and then I have a sculpture, a head sculpture that's blue, and it was just something that You know when they say you see your name written on a piece of art, I'm like, this has to come home with me. So yes, and I've seen some really lovely pieces here in Iwalewa. Yeah, so
So, what's your expectation for today's show, or so far, since the show has already started? So far.
yeah, I'm expecting. I mean, I was blown away right from coming in to the gallery. From the door, the door is a piece of art. The gate is a piece of art. Around the walls, pieces of art. And I mean, it's not just about the art, but the ambience, the experience you feel. I love the garden, the beautiful plants. So coming into this place, I was blown away with the variety of art pieces. There's one I particularly like downstairs. I think there's someone else that likes it, so we may have a fight on our hands. But just the different type of media that's used. Medium as the case may be, and it's just a variety. It's and the fact that it's not overwhelming. I don't like to go to galleries and there's pieces of art everywhere and kind of like jumping over. It's well spaced, it's well put together, fantastic lighting. So I think this is a great experience. My kids, we've been walking around and they've been like, oh my god, that looks nice. Or we've talked about different ways you can actually use art to recycle materials, using pieces of dead tires. You see a big monkey or a horse, which shows strength. So yeah, I think anyone that comes here should be very impressed with the artists and be very impressed, because I think there's a lecture. Be very impressed to listen to their stories, understand how they use different types of technique to create very unique pieces. I think just like we have had, Nollywood become such a big deal in the world, I think our art is going there, because I see a lot more artists um, having residencies abroad. I was going to buy a piece of work about a year and a half ago, and I somehow missed the opportunity. Then I reached out to my friend. Her name is Osaru Obaseki. And I said to her, hey, that piece of work, what's going on? She told me 10,000 euros. And I'm like, seriously? So I see the works of Nigerians becoming as popular as the global works of artists, your Monet, the artist, I can't remember the name, that has the picture of Mona Lisa. Our Nigerian artists are incredible. I hope we are able to nurture them and build the right environment, or export as many of them as possible, so that that's another huge source of foreign exchange for the country, and also to just continue to build the industry. So I'm very impressed with Femi, and I know it's a work of passion. It's not about the money, it's a work of passion, because it's not easy to pull different artists together to bring such a variety of artists and different works to this particular location. So, yeah, I'm expecting a lot. I think the timing is right, because Africa is a place of interest. There's so much, it's an eclectic place. There's so much variety, and there's so many sources of inspiration for our artists. So I'm expecting a lot. So if you don't come here, you've missed out. Totally missed out. Totally missed out.
Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the show. Hi guys, so I'm here with another of today's exhibitors, and he's going to be telling us about his works. So let's meet him.
Okay, and good evening. Dr. Kunyadi is my name. I'm an artist, and however, I'm a lecturer at the Yaba College of Technology Art School. I I was head of department at the point, and I became the dean of the art school. And all is history now, but basically why you're here is about studio practice. I want to appreciate the effort of the organizers of this show. This is the first time something is coming out officially on, the practice, but the practice of art. A practice of art in the sense that those who teach art, are they really practicing in the studio? We have lots of us that are not practicing, but for some who are practicing, and I think this is an opportunity, to really bring out the stuff in their studio. And so this is a unique opportunity. And as he's starting now, I think it needs to be encouraged as much as possible. And so that's about that. My lecturer art show, like I said, is he's bringing in people from different parts of the country, people from the southern parts of the country, people from Lagos, people from the northern part, to really have this show. And I think this is just a start, a beginning. It's wide, it's huge, and in no due time, people will be appreciating the effort of this effort, And how do I mean? Um, right now, it's cooking, but very soon the soup will be done for organizers to really enjoy what they have actually started. Sparingly, art lecturers have been exhibiting here and there, but this is the first time that the art lecturers are located, and brought under one roof for this exhibition. And so I give them kudos, and this show, you can see the variance, the various areas, the artists have explored in painting, in printmaking, in sculpture, in three-dimensional, in digital art, and in all the other areas. So what it means is that some of these people that are showing here have actually been doing the right thing, even to their students in school. So it's important for us to know this. So again, I give them the kudos. But this is just the beginning. Must be able to weather the tempo and then increase the tempo and then enlarge it and make sure it's that show that Nigeria will be proud of. There's nothing bad in moving this show, for instance, to the international climb, UK, US, and all of that. And it will further expose what the art teachers are doing in the art school. Yeah.
Are you encouraged about today's outcome at the show?
Definitely. I have actually seen, I'm part of the exhibitor, but right now I'm seeing some new things that my colleagues have done, in their various studios. And what it means is that what they are doing right now, some of them, maybe not almost all of them, but some of them have actually engaged in teaching their students that same art. So it's important for us to know, because one rubs the other. So before this comes out, it went through processes, and the processes must have engaged one or two other hands, which are the students. So it's important. I'm encouraged, by the level of the standard of work that I've seen. These works here can actually go for international exhibition, bearing, all things being equal, can go for international show, and it will then spring surprises, and so that's my.
I'm particularly interested about this your work. Please, can you explain it to us?
Right. I call it dialogue with nature. And dialogue with nature. When I was much younger, as in the primary school, we used to go out there to the farm. I come from the village in Ondo anyway. Ondo is not a village, a town, but at least, so we go to farm, particularly during holidays, summer holidays. We go to the farm to fetch birds. Some of these birds, we go there to fetch the birds, and then we fetch them live. We don't allow them to die. So we bring them home and we build cages around it. It's not something like that, so that the bird will not escape. And then we start nurturing the birds, giving them feeds, and all that. So the birds would be moving from one. We build that cage as in, about 3 layers, three stories, 3-story cage, just small something, just about 18 inches or sometimes 12 inches. We built it as if it's a normal house. So the bird will have the food there, we have the water, and we'll be moving from one joint to the other. But what am I trying to bring out from there? At those days, we had that life physically, and people in the family or in the home also enjoy the noise of that, and then we play with that. And but when I came to Lagos and practice, those things are not in existence. So I now say, as an artist, what do I do? So I now have this format of the tree branch and all that, and then I have the net there and I have the boards, I hang on there, playing just to dialogue with us. So I said, call it dialogue with nature. And so that brought, it's just a memory, I'm trying to document my memories, right from when I was a youth. So that informs it. So it's actually a relief sculpture, kind of, it's a three-dimensional sculpture, but it's a relief one on board. So it's essentially a different thing entirely.
What material is this?
Yeah, the material is resin, it's faber cast, it's resin, and that's it. So it's an interesting thing. Even this side, it's a little bit, it's not far from what I studied. I studied painting, I studied printmaking. But you see, in my research, when I was doing my PhD, in my research, I tried to nexus between painting and printmaking. And so it gives me something different. And so I went into things like this. I can cast, I can do this. And thank God one is doing well in that area now.
Nice. It's really nice. Okay, so can you tell us what do you think is the future of art in Nigeria? Do you think it's evolving, it's getting better, are people appreciating it now, or where do you think art is going in Nigeria?
Now, well, the future of art in Nigeria, I don't want to be too negative. Art thrives when there is patronage. You know the economy now. But again, that does not deter the artists from doing their work. So whoever withstands the pressure now will enjoy it in future. Whoever withstands the pressure and still create will enjoy it in the future. Mind you, art is actually not a local thing. It's a global thing. So you create it locally, but you export it globally. So, for instance, I just came back from a 1 month workshop residency, and exhibiting in Sweden. I just came back. So the embrace, when you transpose your art into a global thing. You are no longer confined to one area. So the artists who are opportune to get that exposure, who work hard enough to get that opportunity, they will thrive internationally. So the future of art globally is good. But presently in Nigeria, we complain about patronage, we complain about this, but we can still do something. So I still see that when we have the round peg, particularly art administrators, when we have the round peg and the round hole, things will move. There are things specifically that we are supposed to do that the administrators, the National Gallery of Art, the National Museum, all the art institutions, there are things that they are supposed to have done, but they are not doing it because the professionals are not particularly given the opportunity to serve in that capacity. So what is happening in politics right now is a kind of gel thing. But we are toiling with the future of art. We are toiling with the future of some of the other things in the country. So we need to put the professionals who have actually gone through the thick and thin of the job and who can actually tinker, for the profession. And they say, oh, okay, government or private individuals or corporate bodies, this is the way to go. So if Nigerian system, if the government or the people who are in charge of art are able to relate and bring the thing back home in the sense that they put the right people in the right position, I can assure you that art will thrive, both at the lower level, at the medium level, and at the high level. That's my thought.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.